Did you know that by the time we hit 60, our perspective on life transforms in ways younger people can't even imagine? Aging isn't just about growing older, it's about gaining wisdom that's often overlooked. Today, we're diving into 8 powerful lessons only aging can teach you. Lessons that can completely change the way you see your life. But here's the kicker. Lesson number 7 is one no one talks about. And it's so moving, it might just bring you to tears. So, make sure you stick around to the very end. If this sounds like the kind of wisdom you've been waiting for, take a moment to hit that like button to let us know you're excited. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more life-changing insights that will help you thrive at any age. Now let's get started. Meet Jerry. At 72, he's retired now, but he spent most of his life chasing what he thought was the ultimate goal success. Jerry worked 60-hour weeks, climbed the corporate ladder, and prided himself on his accomplishments. Promotions, a big house, and a luxury car parked in his driveway. To outsiders, he had it all. But Jerry will tell you something now that he's older. Those years came at a cost. While he was busy chasing deadlines and paychecks, he missed some of the most important moments, his kids' soccer games, quiet evenings with his wife, even the chance to visit his aging parents more often. It wasn't until retirement, when the hustle slowed down, that Jerry had an epiphany. He realized the most precious thing he had wasn't his career or his possessions, it was his time. The moments he used to take for granted now feel priceless. Watching his granddaughter take her first steps, laughing with old friends, or simply enjoying a sunset with a cup of coffee in hand. Aging taught Jerry what most people only realize too late. Time isn't infinite, and once it's gone, no amount of money or success can buy it back. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait until it's too late to learn this lesson. Start asking yourself today, what truly matters to me? Who do I want to spend my time with? What memories do I want to create? Maybe it's reaching out to an old friend you've lost touch with, carving out time for family dinners, or finally taking that trip you've always dreamed about. Small choices like these can make a world of difference. Now we want to hear from you. What's one thing you wish you had spent more time on earlier in life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. You never know how your story might inspire someone else. And stay tuned, because lesson number 2 will help you embrace something that so many people struggle with, but becomes easier with age: self-acceptance. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Let me tell you about Carol. She's 68 now, but for most of her life, Carol was her own worst critic. In her 20s, she was self-conscious about her weight. In her 30s and 40s, she stressed about wrinkles and grey hair creeping in. And when she hit her 50s, she felt invisible, as if the world no longer noticed her. Carol spent years chasing society's version of beauty, dieting, buying expensive creams, and even avoiding photos because she didn't think she looked good enough. But no matter what she tried, it was never enough to silence that inner voice telling her she wasn't perfect. Then something changed. Carol remembers the moment clearly. It was her 65th birthday. Her granddaughter gave her a handmade card that said, "Grandma, you're the most beautiful person in the world." It wasn't because of how she looked. It was because of how she made her granddaughter feel loved, warm, and safe. That moment sparked a shift in Carol's perspective. She realized the features she had criticized for years, her smile lines, her grey streaks, even her imperfect body, were all a part of the life she had lived. Those smile lines? They came from decades of laughter. The grey hair, it symbolized her wisdom. Her body? It had carried her through every challenge she faced. Carol stopped chasing perfection and started embracing her uniqueness. She began to see herself not as someone who needed to fix anything, but as someone who had earned every part of her story. Here's the truth aging teaches us. Self-acceptance isn't about meeting impossible standards. It's about appreciating the person you've become. So today, take a moment to reflect on one thing you love about yourself. Is it your laugh? Your resilience? The way you've been there for the people you care about? And don't keep it to yourself. Share it with us in the comments below. Have you reached this point of self-acceptance yet? Tell us how you got there. Your story might inspire someone else to embrace their own journey. Aging has a way of showing us that beauty isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity. And if you thought this lesson was powerful, wait until we get to lesson number 3, where we'll uncover why your health is the greatest gift you'll ever have. Stay with us. You won't want to miss it. Let's go back to Jerry for a moment. By the time Jerry reached his late 50s, he was living the high life, or so he thought. Expensive dinners, late nights at work, and a sedentary lifestyle had become his norm. He didn't think twice about skipping exercise or indulging in unhealthy habits. After all, he was still moving, still working, and still enjoying life. Or so he believed. But everything changed one morning when Jerry woke up and couldn't ignore the sharp pain in his knees. Walking up the stairs felt like a chore, and even standing for more than a few minutes left him exhausted. A routine doctor's visit revealed what Jerry had been avoiding. His lifestyle had caught up with him. His weight, poor diet, and lack of activity were now impacting his ability to do even the simplest things. That was Jerry's wake-up call. He realized something profound. No matter how much money or success he had, none of it mattered if he couldn't enjoy his life. Being able to walk pain-free, to play with his grandchildren, or to take a trip without worrying about his health, that was true wealth. Jerry decided to make changes, and they weren't drastic. He started with a daily 20-minute walk around his neighborhood. He swapped fast food for home-cooked meals and began stretching every morning. Little by little, his energy improved, and the pain began to fade. Today, Jerry feels healthier at 72 than he did at 52. Here's the lesson. As we age, health becomes the foundation of everything else we want to do. It's no longer about looking good for others, it's about feeling good for yourself. So, what can you do to prioritize your health today? Start small. Take a walk every day, even if it's just around the block. Schedule that checkup you've been putting off. Drink more water. Choose one simple habit and stick with it. You'll be amazed at how much of a difference it makes over time. And we'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've done recently to take care of your health? Share it in the comments. It might inspire someone else to take their first step toward a healthier life. Aging reminds us that health is a gift, but it's one we have to nurture. And if you thought this lesson was eye-opening, just wait for lesson number 4. It's all about discovering the incredible strength you've built through the challenges you've faced. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss it. Meet Eleanor. She's 74 now, but her life hasn't been easy. 10 years ago, she lost her husband of 45 years unexpectedly. It was a devastating blow. Her partner, her best friend, the person she had built her life with, was suddenly gone. In those first few months, Eleanor wasn't sure how she could go on. Grief consumed her, and everything felt meaningless. But something remarkable happened as time passed. Slowly, Eleanor started to rediscover herself. She joined a local community group, started painting, a hobby she hadn't touched since her 20s, and even began volunteering at a nearby shelter. Each small step she took reminded her of the strength she didn't know she had. Eleanor realized that her resilience wasn't something new. It had been built over a lifetime. The challenges she had faced over the years, raising children, navigating financial struggles, caring for aging parents, had quietly prepared her for this moment. She learned that while loss and hardship are inevitable, so is the ability to rise above them. Here's the truth aging teaches us. Every challenge we face shapes us into someone stronger, more compassionate, and more capable than we ever imagined. And while those challenges may seem insurmountable at first, they often reveal a strength we didn't know we had. Think about your own life. How many times have you thought, "I'll never get through this," only to look back later and realize you did? That's resilience. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about finding the courage to keep going in the face of it. So take a moment to reflect. What's one challenge you've overcome that made you stronger? Share it in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else who's going through a tough time. And speaking of strength, the next lesson will open your eyes to a surprising truth about friendships and how they evolve as we age. It's a lesson that might just change the way you see the people in your life. So stay tuned. As we grow older, we start to notice something about friendships. They change, and that's perfectly okay. In our younger years, it's all about having a big social circle. We collect friends like souvenirs, celebrating birthdays with crowded parties and thinking the more, the merrier. But as time goes on, we realize that it's not the number of friendships that matters, it's the quality. Take Linda, for example. At 65, she noticed her circle had grown smaller over the years. She no longer kept in touch with most of her old work colleagues, her book club dissolved, and some friendships faded naturally with time. At first, she felt a little lonely, wondering if she had done something wrong. But then Linda took a closer look at the relationships that remained. There was Mary, her best friend since high school, who always knew just what to say when life got tough. There was her neighbour, Tom, who checked in on her during a rough patch after surgery, and her sister, who became her rock when she needed family the most. What Linda realized was this: the friendships that mattered, the ones built on trust, understanding and shared experiences, stood the test of time. These were the relationships that brought her joy and comfort. And she also realized that it was okay to let go of friendships that no longer served her or were even toxic. Aging teaches us to focus on the people who truly matter. It's about nurturing those deep connections with people who uplift and support us. And it's okay if that means saying goodbye to relationships that drain us or no longer fit where we are in life. So here's something you can do today. Take a moment to reflect on your friendships. Who are the people who've stood by you through thick and thin? Cherish those relationships. Call them, visit them, or send them a message just to say thank you for being in my life. And if there's a toxic relationship weighing you down, give yourself permission to let it go. You deserve peace. And sometimes that means choosing quality over quantity. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's one friendship that has stood the test of time for you? Share your story in the comments below. It might just remind someone else to reach out to the people who matter most. As we age, we start to shift our focus from personal achievement to the legacy we're leaving behind. In our younger years, it's all about reaching the next milestone, the promotion, the recognition, the accolades. But as time passes, we realize that the true measure of our life isn't in what we've accomplished, it's in the impact we've had on others. Take Henry, for example. At 80, Henry had spent most of his career in law. He was respected in his field and had reached a level of success that many would envy. But as he entered retirement, something changed. Henry found that the thrill of achieving goals began to fade, and what mattered more was the influence he could have on those around him. He decided to mentor younger lawyers, sharing his wisdom not just about the law but about life, how to maintain balance, how to handle stress, and the importance of integrity. Henry didn't expect anything in return. The fulfillment he found in guiding the next generation was priceless. And it wasn't just about his professional legacy, it was about the personal connections he formed, the lessons he passed down, and the way he had made others' lives richer. Henry's story is a reminder that as we age, our definition of success evolves. It's no longer about climbing the ladder, but about reaching down to help others rise with us. The greatest legacy we can leave isn't in material possessions or status, it's in the positive impact we have on people's lives. So here's something to think about. What legacy do you want to leave behind? It doesn't have to be something grand. Maybe it's passing on a family tradition, mentoring a younger person in your community, or simply sharing your wisdom with those around you. Take a moment today to think about how you can make an impact. One simple way to start is by reaching out to someone younger and offering your guidance. Share your experiences, your lessons, and your heart. You never know how much it might change their life. We'd love to hear from you. What's one way you've already started leaving a legacy? Share your story in the comments below. You might just inspire someone else to start building their own legacy today. One of the most profound lessons that aging teaches us is the power of letting go. As we grow older, we begin to realize that holding on to grudges, regrets, and the fear of judgment only weighs us down. Life is too short to carry the burden of unresolved pain. And sometimes letting go is the key to unlocking true freedom. Take Carol's story. For decades she held on to a deep grudge against her sister Linda. It all started years ago when Carol felt betrayed after Linda took something personal from their childhood. Something that meant a lot to Carol. The wound festered, and though the years passed, Carol never forgave her. She avoided Linda at family gatherings, and their relationship became a silent, unspoken tension. But as Carol entered her 60s, she began to see things differently. She realized how much energy she was spending holding on to old pain. One day, she sat quietly, reflecting on her life, and had a breakthrough moment. She thought about how much time she had wasted being angry at her sister, time that could have been spent reconnecting and healing. Carol made the brave decision to reach out to Linda. She called her, and after a long conversation they both opened up. Tears were shed, apologies were exchanged, and they finally let go of the past. That moment of reconciliation was one of the most freeing experiences Carol had ever known. The weight lifted and she felt lighter, free to love and enjoy her sister again. Here's the thing about aging. It gives us the clarity to see that holding on to resentment doesn't change the past. It only robs us of the present. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about choosing peace over pain, joy over bitterness. What do you need to let go of in your own life? Is there a grudge or regret you've been carrying that's preventing you from fully embracing the present? Take a moment to think about it. Sometimes the most freeing thing you can do is simply forgive, whether it's someone else or yourself. We'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've let go of that has brought you peace? Share your story in the comments below, and let's support each other on this journey of releasing what no longer serves us. And now for the last lesson, the one that will completely change the way you see aging. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Won't want to. We've reached the final lesson, and it's one that changes everything about the way we view aging. The truth is, growing older is a privilege, not a curse. Too often we hear people lament the passing years, wishing for the youth they once had. But the real gift of aging is the perspective it brings, the understanding that each year is a precious chapter, filled with opportunities for growth, authenticity, and joy. Let's revisit Jerry one last time. At 72, Jerry had his fair share of aches and pains, but instead of resenting them, he began to embrace them as reminders of the incredible life he had lived. After all, not everyone gets the chance to grow old. His friends from childhood were gone, and some of his peers hadn't made it as far. Jerry started seeing each new grey hair, each wrinkle as a badge of honour, marking the wisdom he had gained over the years. He realised that aging had given him a rare gift, the chance to live life authentically. No longer concerned about meeting the expectations of others, Jerry felt free to pursue the things that truly brought him joy, like learning to play the guitar and finally taking that trip to the Grand Canyon. He was living life on his terms. Aging is not something to fear. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to look back with gratitude and forward with excitement. It's about letting go of regrets, embracing who you've become, and making the most of the time you have left. So what are you waiting for? Embrace this time in your life. Live authentically, chase new dreams, and surround yourself with the people who bring you joy. The years you've lived have shaped you into the person you are today, and that person is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you may realize. Now we want to hear from you. What's one thing you're grateful for as you age? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might just inspire someone to appreciate their own journey. As we wrap up today's journey through the 8 powerful lessons aging teaches us, let's take a moment to reflect on the transformations of Jerry and Carol. For Jerry, aging wasn't about fading into the background. It was about embracing the privilege of growing older, redefining success, and finding joy in the present. He learned to focus on the people who truly matter, letting go of past grudges and realizing that each new day was a gift. Carol's journey was one of self-acceptance. She shed years of insecurity, choosing to love herself just as she is and celebrating the wisdom that only comes with age. She mended relationships, including one with her sister, that had once felt beyond repair. Together, Jerry and Carol showed us that aging is a process of growth, strength, and profound transformation. It's about letting go of what no longer serves us and embracing the authentic, fulfilled life we deserve. If these lessons resonated with you, hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear this today. You never know how much your words or actions can impact someone's life. And don't forget to subscribe for more life advice and inspiration on how to live your best life, no matter your age. Together, let's keep learning, growing, and making the most of every precious moment. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. See you in the next video.